Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Megan, if I asked you what my favorite way to fish, you'd be able to answer that.
Of course.
But if I asked you what was my least favorite way to fish, would you be able to answer that one?
I think it's a crankbait.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And it's not because crankbaits don't catch fish. They catch a lot of fish, and they're very versatile in terms of where you can throw them. The issue is I don't have a lot of experience throwing a lot of different kinds of crankbaits.
Okay.
You know, I'll throw a jerkbait or a rattle trap, but some of the deep diving crankbait, I just don't have a lot of experience. And so therefore I don't have a lot of success.
Right.
And I think a lot of other guys are in that same situation. Man, we got boxes and boxes of them, but we just don't throw them very much. And when we do, we don't catch very many fish. Just recently, I had a situation that kind of gave me a different way to look at crankbait fishing that I'm going to try in 2024. And I thought I'd share it because I think guys might be in that same situation as me.
Okay.
So stick around, guys. We're going to talk about this when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Mark Fisher.
I'm Megan Fuller.
So crankbait. So Megan, here's the situation that happened. I was at school during a lunch period and walking through the lunchroom, and there was a kid playing basketball. Okay, little kid, and he was shooting baskets from the 3-point line, and he would shoot that basketball, and it would thunk, wouldn't go in. Shoot it again, thunk. Just he couldn't make it a basket. I mean, he must have shot 5 times and they never went in.
Okay.
And it was starting to, people were noticing, and he was kind of getting a little embarrassed that it wasn't going in. And in fact, at one point, I kind of made a joking comment like, "Hey, Joey, I think it might be the ball." And I kind of turned away and was paying attention to something else. And I turned around and I looked, and he walked into the gym closet to go get a different ball, thinking that maybe it was the ball. And he got a new ball out, and he went back to the 3-point line and donk,
Okay.
and he wasn't, he wasn't practicing his threes. He was just shooting. Okay. And ultimately I kind of instinctually, I said, "Joey, come on over here." And we went to the other side of the court. I said, "Man, if you want to make baskets and you're not making them from that far out, let's move in a little closer and let's start making the shorter baskets, right?"
Yeah.
And sure enough, I set him up under the basket, show him how to kind of make a standing kind of layup kind of thing just right there out using the backboard, and it went in. And he got this big smile on his face. And "Hey, thanks, Mark." And then he proceeded. I said, "Make 10 more of these and then take a step back and shoot from back here. Take another step back, and pretty soon you'll be shooting from out there on the 3-point line, but you got to start close
Right.
and work back." Well, you know me, everything that I do somehow has to relate to bass fishing, right?
Right.
And I'm kind of putting that to my crankbait fishing. I think that in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm like Joey in that I'm throwing these deep diving crankbaits in 16, 18, 20 feet of water trying to catch. Well, you know what? There's a lot that you have to do when you're throwing those big deep diving crankbaits.
Okay.
So maybe what I need to do is this season just focus on throwing some shallower running crankbaits, some square bills, and it's probably not a big surprise that a lot of guys talk about how much they love throwing square bill crankbaits in 3 to 5 feet of water on rocks, on rocky shorelines. Well, that's because they're probably a lot easier to throw and they catch fish
Okay.
in those situations. So start with those shallower running crankbaits, get a hang of that and how they work. The biggest thing about a crankbait, guys, is you want that crankbait to deflect off of cover. You want a deep diving crankbait to do that as well, but it's harder to do that in 18 and 20 feet of water than it is in 3 to 5 feet of water.
Oh, that makes sense.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lesson that I taught Joey, and I'm going to get a little closer to the basket, meaning I'm going to work shallow, and I'm going to focus on doing some shallow running crankbaits where I just use crankbaits but make them shallow and kind of see if I can't get a little bit more confidence with my crankbaits. That's
confidence, yeah.
And some experience, and then kind of move myself away from the basket and out a little away from the bank, and kind of, you know, start to work on the deeper diving crankbaits when I have that confidence and that experience. So I don't know whether that's going to apply to any of you guys. I'd love to hear your comments. Maybe you've already kind of done this already and you're there. For me, that's where I'm going to be at, because as I said, crankbaits are an important tool for us. And it's just an area that put it on my list of something to kind of try and build up my game in 2024.
Well, if you guys like this video, please subscribe, like, and comment. Also, we just want to say thank you to all the people that have been doing that throughout this experience. We're almost at 100 videos. So we've been doing this for a little while. And we just really want to thank you guys for giving us your time, your attention, your thoughts.
Your time, for sure. Yeah.
So, thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody. We'll have another episode tomorrow. See you then.